Hi guys, Alice Taylor down at Lytham Golf Academy, and today we're going to be testing the new TaylorMade M6 against the old TaylorMade M2 from 2016. Right then guys, so an old model against a new model, not quite 10-year challenge I know, but we're going to see what advancements the technology has given us and see, is it always worth spending that extra money on that new equipment when you can potentially pick up a 2, 3, 4-year-old model and see how that performs against the new stuff. Right then, so first up guys, we've got the TaylorMade M2 from 2016. So we can see on the bottom we've still got the speed pocket, bit bigger back in 2016 than it is now, still got the weight at the back of the head, and as we look over on top, that really big white section down the front with a little bit of carbon on the back of the head. So I've got this set at 8 degrees, a little bit open with the face, and I've got the hazardous 6.0 black in here. So let's hit 5 shots with this, then we'll go on M6 and we'll see, is the new driver worth that extra money? Because you still can pick these up second hand, and I think you'd struggle to get fitted for one. And I am going to talk a bit more about why it's so important to get fitted correctly. But let's go 5 shots, M2, see how it stacks up. So that one's setting off down the right, trying to turn over, not quite getting back, but getting out 294. Now, I'm going to look at all the numbers that this produces, so not just about how far, but kind of what the spin was like and kind of how it launches, because it's about getting that perfect package with driver. So first one was a decent one to start with. That was absolutely ripped. Doesn't get any better than that. So again, very, very consistent, 294 and 293. Now this was in my bag, and to be honest, I like this driver so much, I've never actually parted with this driver. It's always spun pretty well, and I've had some very, very good ball speed, particularly off the one that I strike right out the middle. So that one again, fairly accurate, a little bit lower on the face that time. So it'll be interesting to see, particularly with the older equipment, how the ball speed changes from the really, really good one to the one that I don't quite get. Because obviously, I've discussed this before, on the really, really good one, I don't think you're really picking up any extra, but it is those miss hits where we're looking to be a bit more consistent with. That one again, I've hit down the right, not turned it, so just hanging out down the right hand side. Again, not too bad on distance. And that, because I've always tended to shape it, what I tend to do with the TaylorMade stuff is de-loft it, open the club face up a little bit, and it tends to make me shape it a little bit less. Just got to make sure I aim a little bit straighter. So one final one with M2. That I would say is almost identical to the previous one, just a touch longer, and again, not bad. Right, so 5 good solid strikes, one maybe a little bit low on the face, but let's switch over from M2 to M6. So noticeably different on the bottom, kind of much smaller speed slot. Obviously a little bit of weight still in the back of the head with M6. Obviously got the injected twist face with this, which is talking about keeping that ball speed up, and certainly you can see a much more carbon on the crown, and the silver much smaller on top than we saw on the M2 with the white. So I've got this set at 7 degrees, and I've got the hazardous smoke 6.0 in this one. But after 5 solid ones with M2, let's see how M6 stacks up against it. That felt solid. Turned over a little bit more. That was long. And I do think, obviously, accuracy partly is down to the equipment, very much down to how I deliver the club and the length I'm hitting it. I've only got to be fractionally different at impact to see very, very different results. But a reasonable first one, even if it turned over a bit too much. Now that one was definitely out the heel. So again, the big thing here is not always about the very best one. It's seeing how those slightly indifferent ones, how that ball speed drops off or is maintained. So first one was a really good strike. Second one definitely a little bit out the heel. Very, very straight. Just looks a little bit spinny, that one. Again, not bad. So, as forgiving as modern drivers are, it's still that thing that if you're a few millimetres out on strike, do you think you see a big change in spin numbers still? So, last couple with M6. Again, a bit more shape. That's where I can afford to aim a little bit more right with this one. So one final one. Not had an exceptionally long one with either driver today. Clubhead speeds have been very, very similar. One final one, M6. So very straight, felt a little bit low on the face, and certainly distance-wise that's dropped off quite a bit. So let's look at the numbers and let's compare the 2016 M2 to the brand new M6. Right, so when you look at the drives, we can certainly see average ball speed was up with the M6. You'd expect that. Talking about the technology with the injected twist face, we're looking at a more consistent ball speed across the face, and we saw the quickest one being a lot quicker at 158.6. Now, generally speaking, I thought if anything I just launched it a little bit low, so maybe strikes a little bit low on there, but average spin was still slightly lower with M6 than it was with M2. But because M2 I got the ball launching a little bit higher, we actually saw 3 yards more carry on M2 and actually 2 yards more total. Right then guys, so we've looked at the numbers, and being honest, ball speed was up, and that's what TAYLORMADE are claiming, but overall performance on distance, we didn't really see any improvement, and if anything, the old model actually went a little bit further, and I would probably argue from the accuracy wise was a little bit straighter. Now yes, you can pick up some great bargains on M2 because it's 3 years old, but my big challenge is you're going to struggle to pick something up that's fitted for you. That is fitted for me absolutely perfectly, so I know it performs. Always get along, get fitted, buy what works best for you. I appreciate some of the stuff is a little bit more top heavy on price, but we've seen there that if you've got something that's 3-4 years old, it still performs really, really well. So spending that extra money on something now would mean that in 3-4 years time it's still going to perform really well for you. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, like and share it, comment below, I'll get back to as many of you as I can. Subscribe to the channel if you don't already. Click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down in the future. Stay in contact.